Hello and welcome to the devlog number 6 for our game Rogue Command. I'm Mario, I'm the game designer on the game, together with Martin, my partner in crime here. We've been working on this game for a while. And we've been doing weekly devlogs for some reason. The reason being that I kind of enjoy making them. So what was going on this week? Like I said last week, this week our main focus was on implementing our equivalent of a potion system. This is kind of a mainstay in roguelike games, of course. If you've played Slay the Spire, any of those games, then you're familiar with them. They're basically consumable items that you can use one time and then they're gone. And I think they will fit really nicely into our game as well here. And I'm going to show off a bit of the ones that we have already in here. I'm actually really happy with how quickly I was able to implement a bunch of them after Martin programmed the systems for that. Again, it was one of those weeks where just it felt like everything just clicked and went really smoothly. So yeah, that was really fun. You can also see a new unit here that I think maybe the first time I've ever shown a mech on stream here. So the new consumable system. So we are calling them drops in our game, which is kind of, I think, a fitting name for the way they are implemented. Like I said, they're a very typical thing to do in roguelikes, having these consumables. I think often in like the tradition in roguelikes is even having them so that you don't know what they will do when you use them, which is something that we are not going to do because I think losing in an RTS is frustrating enough as is. We don't need to add another layer of likelihood on top of that. So basically the function of these kinds of systems is to have something that you can use in a tricky situation to kind of to get a lever in a situation that you might otherwise not be able to win. So far I'm gonna show you how they're implemented. You can see them up top here. There's a bunch of them that I have right now. We're currently under attack here, so let's use the first one. You can see what they're called, drops. So what this did is it dropped down a healing spire. So this is just gonna start healing our units here. So this is actually a way to get buildings that you don't have in your deck per se. Also it is not limited to dropping the buildings near your base like they usually are. But of course, buildings are not the only thing. It still feels like the enemy is kind of coming in numbers here. So let's do something else. Let's maybe try the duplication ray. Bam. There we go. Now we have 2 of the mechs. That is actually really could be really broken in some situations if you have a really powerful unit. Then you can just get 2 of them. It also works on buildings. There's a bunch of things that you can kind of figure out with that stuff. There's also this here. Bam, which just reveals the map. So I think basically the imagination is the limit for what you can do with those. My aim is to have them feel really powerful so that it will actually be worth taking them instead of maybe getting an upgrade or research points or coins or whatever. There's kind of a economy balancing questions, I guess, that I have to figure out there. So far I'm really enjoying them, having them in the game, and I think they're gonna be a really fun addition. So like you can see, there's a bunch of those icons up here. Usually people limit those to like 3 or maybe 5 or something like that. And the reason for that is very clear, because people, and that includes me, tend to hoard consumables because they don't know, oh, maybe I have to, maybe I need that later in a harder situation. So that's definitely something that I want to keep an eye on. I think we're going to just start with having them not limited and then see how it goes. But yeah, I actually haven't really been able to play around with them myself. We've been implementing them mainly this week, so next week we'll be kind of rounding out the rough edges around that system. And man, my mechs are getting run down here. Maybe it's time for another drop. Missile fields. What does that do? Let's see. Maybe we can turn this around here. Oh look! It's raining missiles! I gotta say, this might be my favorite one so far. It's just very simple, just a bunch of missiles coming down from your ship in orbit. And yeah, like I said, it's been a lot of fun implementing these drops. Yeah. Let me think. I forgot to trim my train of thought here for a second. It doesn't matter though. Yeah, so I was just wondering, like, what would be kind of drops that you would be interested in seeing in the game? What would be something that you could imagine be a really cool addition to like a RTS roguelike? And also maybe I would be really interested in kind of getting your... What are your favorite consumables maybe that you ever found in a game? Like something that felt really useful? That would be really interesting to hear. Yeah, so next week, like I said, we will be polishing up that system, implement it so it works between the levels and everything. There's been some hiccups with that today. Let's cause some more missiles here. I don't want to lose before the stream ends. Yeah, and so that includes also overhauling the shop, probably. Oh no. Lost engineer. That doesn't matter. Yeah, like I said, that will probably also include overhauling the shop, because we want to be able to also sell you those items in the shop as well. And when we're touching the shop, then we're probably going to rebuild that system that's behind the shop. So it's a bit more modular, but more flexible. And yeah, that kind of came to light when we thought about how we would add the drops to the shop. So yeah, that's what we've been doing this week. It's been really fun. I think it will be really cool to see how that works in the game, and I'm really looking forward to working on the shop next week. Yeah, that's it from me. I hope you have a great weekend, and see you next week.